Hello and welcome to this video series, A Modern Seller's Guide to Winning More 6- and 7-Figure Deals. I'm Amy Franko, and I'm the author of The Modern Seller and also a LinkedIn top sales voice. This is the second video in the series, so if you are joining me for the first time, you'll want to make sure that you also watch the first video in this series where I lay some of the foundational elements around selling these 6- and 7-figure opportunities. One of the things that I touched on was the importance of sales methodology. And I like to think of sales methodology as a chess match. Your sales methodology are your approaches and the skills that you need, the tools that you need that layer onto your sales process in order to help you be more successful. And I have found that successful sellers, successful sales organizations have a sales methodology that helps them to identify and close those 6- and 7-figure deals. So for the rest of the time today and in future videos, I will be digging into a sales methodology that I've designed and that I bring to sales organizations to help you think through and put some action steps in place around having a methodology in your organization. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Where I'm going to start is introducing this particular methodology, which is strategic selling for professional services and B2B organizations. So if you are very focused on B2B selling and you are looking to identify and close those higher value opportunities, this is a methodology that can help you to get there. Very briefly, I'll go ahead and touch on the various elements of this methodology, but then for the rest of the time, I'm going to focus in on one of the elements, which is advisory intelligence. So the first element of this methodology is mindset. These are the beliefs and the inner workings, if you will, of your mind that you bring to the sales process and to your clients. And your mindset is a really big indicator of how successful you will ultimately be in sales. Advisory intelligence is what you know about your clients and then how you help them apply that knowledge in order to help them move their business forward. Relationship ecosystems are the strategic relationships that you will need at any given time, and especially in these more complex opportunities. Being able to identify, access, and then have strong sales conversations with those relationships. Compelling proposals are the solutions that you propose, present, and negotiate. And I will be offering you some strategies in a future video on how to create and present compelling proposals. And then lastly, key commitments. These are the commitments that you are going to need all throughout your sales process, from the very beginning all the way through for asking for the business. When you think about that strategically, that is going to help you position yourself to win those 6- and 7-figure opportunities. So that's just a brief overview of the methodology in general. And then for the rest of the time, I'm going to focus in on one very important element, which is your advisory intelligence. So advisory intelligence is your depth of understanding about the client and then also the industry vertical that you're in. How much do you know about that client? How much do you know about their industry vertical? And then how can you help them to navigate their decision-making process moving forward? It's also your ability to help clients and prospects not only navigate decisions in general, but in your specific area of expertise. That is why they're talking with you, whether it's a first-time prospect or a long-time client. You and your organization bring a specific area of expertise, and part of your leadership role, your advisory role, if you will, is helping them to navigate specifically to that area of expertise. And then lastly, really strong sellers who show advisory intelligence, they are excellent at identifying specific ways that they can help their prospects and clients make their business better. And specifically, that leads to new ways of doing business together. It's not just offering the ideas or the insights for the sake of doing that. It is, in addition, finding new opportunities, new problems to solve that can lead to those 6- and 7-figure deals. There are a few key categories that you will want to be paying attention to if you're a seller, or if you're a sales leader, you'll want to be coaching your sellers to these 5 different categories. I'll take a moment here to outline each of these briefly. One is industry trends. Do you have a really strong understanding of the trends that are impacting the industry in which your clients and prospects are? This is where verticalization can come in handy. If you only have 2 or 3 different verticals that you're focused on, that can help you to go deep in those different types of industry trends. Secondly, organizational challenges. Do you understand what's happening in their organization, whether it's a single business segment or it's the organization as a whole, and especially if it's a small to mid-size organization? That can help you to uncover specific ways that you can help them solve those challenges and then also move forward. Third, do you understand leadership vision? Do you know where the CEO wants to be in 1 or 3 years' time? Do you know where other folks in the C-suite want to be in 1 or 3 years' time? And very importantly, what you bring to the table, will it help them recognize that vision? So that's important to know as well. Key initiatives over the next year, the next 3 years, important to understanding where your expertise, your particular solutions can line up to help them accomplish those initiatives. And then also understanding what this immediate fiscal year looks like. What is the health of the organization? What are their specific goals that they want to be accomplishing in this next fiscal year? And are they a growth-oriented organization, or are they perhaps in more of a risk mitigation stance that can help you to understand your piece to the puzzle and where you can help them to be successful? When you look at those specific areas of business advisory intelligence, that's going to position you well to be having the right conversations at the right time and with the right people. Lastly, let me give you something very specific that you can do to put advisory intelligence into practice. Identify one top prospect and one key client. And then using those 5 categories that I just shared with you, build out and present at least one new idea to help the leaders and decision makers in that client or prospect think differently or move their business forward. That will help you take what you know from advisory intelligence and help them to put it into action. Lastly, if you'd like to schedule some time with me to talk about this a little bit further, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or visit my website, amyfranko.com, and we can schedule time to talk about how I might be able to help you and your organization identify and close more 6- and 7-figure deals. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today, and please look for the future videos in the series.